So I finished off that table for the most part in the last end of the last video before the dog started barking. But just in case, um, then um, so like just wanted to give you guys something to help you possibly with workflow a little bit. Remember that any command you use, right? If you hit spacebar right after you use it, you can go back and repeat that command. So in this case, I can go spacebar to activate fillet, and then click space, and just go around one at a time. So what I was saying before the dog started going nuts was that um, that if I had this to do over again, what I would do would be to simply just cruise around and do one of these, and then I would have just rotated it into place and finished off the rest of them. So, like you can see over here, it's kind of time consuming to have to really just go around and keep hitting all of these, sort of a complete waste of time. But in the end, it will look quite a bit better and be quite a bit more realistic. So I'm not going to make you suffer through the remainder of filleting all of these edges. But I'm also going to vary this up a little bit, and actually slicing the inside of these legs is something that I kind of had thought about as far as doing like a taper. And this is, I guess, the last thing I'll show you is if I wanted to do that. Let's say I wanted to taper these legs. One easy way to do that would just be to draw a rectangle right on the floor. Okay. And this would probably be easier also to do in wireframe. Um, and this would be, again, something that would certainly speed up the process if you were to do it before you built all your legs, and then you have to go back to this process. But if you were to go ahead and do this and then 3D rotate, I'm going to go ahead and do a 3D rotate right around that midpoint, right around the green hoop here. And I want to bring it up here. So I'm going to say maybe like 70 degrees or so. Something kind of like that. Okay. Now my rectangle is a little bit big. So if I bring it down to below where that skirt piece, or I'm sorry, that stretcher is on the bottom, and then if I were to come in here and move it, say, okay, I want to bring it in. How far? I don't know. It's a 3-inch leg. Maybe I want to bring it in 1 inch, kind of follow that rule of thirds. It looks like I've punctured all the way through it. So in this case, I can go back and use my slice tool and go ahead and slice this leg using, slice this leg using this as my planar object, which I just made. And I say keep both sides. I always keep both of them. I don't know why. Out of paranoia. Sometimes if I sometimes just out of if I wanted to have like another piece that I could use for something else. But now at this point, can look at this and go back to realistic, and that kind of even starts to really make my table have another level of realism to it. So I think what I'm going to do is actually do this. Go ahead and taper these legs. At this point, in order to taper this leg, I can literally just go ahead and move this from its midpoint right along the line here to that midpoint. And I guess I moved it over a little bit. So that would have been easier to do in wireframe. But if I go back to wireframe, see if I can do this quickly. I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm going to move it from here. I'm just going to bring it straight down the line. As long as polar is on, I'm going to select no object snap in this case. So I just want to make sure it's punctured all the way through there. I can go ahead and slice again. That's the object I want to slice. Right click. I want to use a planar object to slice it. There's my planar object. And keep both sides. And if I did it right, I can take that and delete it. That's it. So good luck with yours. I'll finish this up a little bit, and keep in mind, you don't have to stay with the same thing. So like on my fillets, I made mine 1/2 inch roundovers. I don't need to keep them 1/2 inch roundovers. In fact, I think on the tabletop, I might use a little smaller roundover on the top and a little larger, maybe like 3/4 of an inch on the bottom and 1/4 of an inch on the top. All right. So hopefully that helps you, and these things will look dynamite by the time you render them.